Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey, and this is the new for 2022 Mercedes-Benz C300 4MATIC. This is truly a baby S-Class in all the right ways. And in this video, I will take you on a quick tour of the outside, the inside, and then hit the road to see how it drives. Stay tuned. Starting under the hood of the 22 Mercedes C300, you get one engine option, at least for 2022, and that is this 2-liter turbo. This is actually a mild hybrid system with a 48-volt hybrid setup attached to it, and this is actually a pretty good engine. It makes 255 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque, mated to a 9-speed Mercedes-designed automatic that is exceptional and routed to all 4 tires via that 4MATIC 4-wheel drive. This really has been a fun engine to scoot around town in, and with that mild hybrid EQ boost, it doesn't really have any turbo lag and saves you on fuel because this actually gets really decent fuel economy. This is really a smooth system when it comes to that engine start-stop feature. Closing the hood, you can see and appreciate the baby S-Class design here. Mercedes is going and leaning a little into that nesting doll format with the 22 C300, which is not necessarily a bad thing. The new S-Class is one beautiful looking sedan, and this does look a little bit different than the E-Class that we tested not that long ago here on the channel, but very distinct and unique styling for this C-Class. Mine has the AMG Night package, which has a lot of dark accents, and I really appreciate this grille with the 3-point logo repeated all throughout. It really gives it a nice upscale, classy look up front, and yes, you get your Mercedes-Benz ornament here on the top of the bumper, as well as very large and prominent here in the center of the grille, which also houses your radar adaptive cruise. You also get LED performance headlights on this that do a great job of lighting up the road at night. When it comes to fake or functional design elements up front, you do get a lot of solid plastic here, but it actually does open up to an inlet, an air curtain that goes around the front corner for better aerodynamics, feeding around into that wheel well. Speaking of those wheel wells, they are filled out nicely with these staggered width 19-inch wheels front and back, and I absolutely love this blacked out multi-spoke design on my AMG Line tester that hide the cross-drilled rotors back behind. I did mention they are staggered width wrapped in Goodyear summer rubber. These are actually two 25/40s up front and two 55/35s out back. Now, I really loved the side profile of the E-Class that we tested not that long ago here on the channel. Be sure and check that video out. I will link it up above. But the proportions here on the C-Class are much tidier and tighter because it is a smaller vehicle. But it borrows heavily from the larger S-Class, which is very evident here on the side. I just love Mercedes-Benz design language on their sedans here lately. I think they've been knocking it out of the park, and I really like the crisp lines that come around back here to the back. Though I will say this deck lid is missing a lip spoiler. I think that would just finish it off very nicely back here. Speaking of the back end design, it is very S-Class back here. These taillights look ripped straight off of the bigger S-Class, and that's a good thing. Very classy, very elegant styling back here, but going back to fake or functional, this exhaust is not an exhaust. It's all plastic inside and is not connected. The real exhaust tip is up underneath. So just a quick knock back there, but you do know this chrome bit will always stay shiny versus the very soot covered exhaust outlet down below. And then inside you get a relatively good sized trunk, nearly 13 cubic feet of cargo space in here. You did see it was a power opening trunk, and you do get power releases for both sides of the 40-20-40 split bench rear seat that can be accessed from the trunk or inside the vehicle. Lifting up the false load floor, you get some additional underfloor storage here, kind of a trick from SUVs really, and a collapsible cargo holder in the trunk there as well. Very well put together trunk, and these hinges are not going to crush your luggage. And yes, it is a power close because, well, it is a Mercedes. Moving inside the C-Class, you truly do get treated very well in here. That baby S-Class interior is evident here, so not only do you get S-Class exterior styling, but S-Class interior styling as well, which is a good thing because this is where you are going to be spending most of your time. This AMG Line tester does get a very sporty AMG steering wheel that we like very much, although it does have shiny black plastic on the steering wheel right where you're going to be touching all of the controls to operate your 12.3 inch driver information screen here and your 11.9 inch infotainment screen here. I really like the portrait landscape of, or the portrait design of this. Translates very well, and it does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto built right in, which fills up the screen quite nicely. You can see very quick, very responsive. The colors are amazing, does very well. This lower portion here is always your climate controls, and then you can quickly and easily get into all of the setup for your Mercedes-Benz up here from hitting that home button. Gives you everything from information about how the engine's working, the vehicle's working, all kinds of good stuff right here, including your brake and accelerator applications. You can see, put my foot on the brake here, and it tells you what's going on there. Pitch and roll, a lot of good stuff there. Engine gives you your torque, your power, your boost, and your fuel consumption as well. I've been sitting here idle for a while, which is why that 15.1 is going down as we speak, but does a really good job of overall fuel economy. You can see when we're actually driving it, we're flirting with the high 20s right there, so a very fuel efficient engine nonetheless. You can see here over the time that we've had it, 195 miles, we're getting 22.7. That's mixed city, mostly city driving. This is a very customizable interior, but in a very easy to understand way. You have multiple different layouts here, from sport to understated to your navigation screen that actually fills up the entire gauge screen here. And this one does have the augmented reality that will use the front-facing camera to display on the screen, either there or over here, the environment in front of you, and place driving directions actually on the road so that you don't miss your turn. This does have a rather large heads-up display that also displays your driving directions and your performance. Does a great job of keeping you informed, and you can see it does also have the posted speed limit up there as well. My tester has the 3-person memory seats, and you can see, yes, we're wrapped in red and black leather. Very comfortable, very awesome and multi-positional, so you can get your perfect driving position here. Mine does have seat heat, no ventilation. That is a $450 standalone option. You do get nice aluminum trim here and some other metal touches throughout, including your paddle shifters on the back of your steering wheel. very well, nicely put together, good materials here in the C-Class. And I really like this textured pattern on the dash, but you can get wood if that's what your heart desires. Engine start stop button is here, right above the actual engine start button. So if you don't want it killing at traffic lights and saving you fuel, you can hit that button right there. But with that EQ boost mode, it is hardly noticeable when it turns off at stoplights and when it comes back on. This is very reminiscent of the EQS that we tested, which is the electrified version of the S-Class, of which this is the baby of, and I really like it. It actually works quite well, including all your dynamic drive modes right here can be accessed through this panel. I'm not the biggest fan of the only way to adjust the volume is sliding your finger across there, or the same here on the steering wheel. That is probably my biggest nitpick of the entire vehicle. You do get your driver, all your assistance features can be easily accessed right here, as well as further information about the vehicle just by hitting that button right there. Hitting your camera button, you can see you do get excellent 360 cameras in this, and you can pivot around and see what all is around you very nicely. The resolution of this truly is amazing, and you do get some more preset angles that you can see exactly what you want. And there is an auto function that uses the radar sensors to let you know that you're about to hit something and turns on the camera closest to where you are. You can even set GPS, basically geofences, so that the camera comes on anytime you get near that spot. And if it is just a trouble spot for you, whether it's pulling in a tight spot, missing a speed bump or the like, you can set that GPS location there. Really is a very nice camera all told. And if I put it into reverse, you can see you get a bird's eye 360 with this nice little bubble around the vehicle that as I move and get close to things, it will shift and morph and let you know exactly where you are facing the trouble. And you do get dynamic turn lines both in your rear camera and in your bird's eye 360. Very good tech, very high quality screens and resolutions here in the C-Class. Moving to the back seat of the C-Class, you still get your nice materials back here. Everything is leather wrapped and very nice. Get more of the metal here, lock, unlock buttons, and your window switch. Burmester sound system, I didn't even mention that. Nice speaker grills all the way throughout. Really sounds good in here. And at 5'10", sitting behind myself with this contoured seat design, I've actually got plenty of room back here behind myself. This compact sedan really is not that compact. The E-Class obviously was a little bit bigger, but I really like the proportions of this C-Class very much. Back here in the back, you get 2 vents for your climate, but no auxiliary controls. And underneath here, you do have some hidden USB-C ports, so you get some more connectivity back here. And I already mentioned the 40-20 split bench rear seat, so it is a very comfortable place to spend some time and ride across the country in. I give it a thumbs up. Now, I couldn't talk about the interior of this Mercedes without talking about the interior lighting, and that requires me going into someplace a little bit darker than this bright midday sun. So I will go into this parking garage here and help really show off all of the beautiful ambient lighting in this 22 Mercedes C300. As you can see, it is everywhere in here. You get it up this center console, around all of your climate control vents. We even have it up around the upper portion of the control panel up here for your lights and your sunroof. Even here on the door panels, the door pulls, the ambient lighting in here is absolutely stunning. Can be configured by going into settings, light, ambient light, manage settings, and you get multiple different multicolor. You can do monochrome as well, but these multicolors you can actually get to change and animate over time, so you can see that they aren't just staying blue, it's cycling through different animations. It's even got this climate function here that changes to the temperature settings that are visualized with the ambient light. So I've got it blowing cold air out of the vents right now. It's blowing blue light out at me. Very cool nonetheless. And then I really like this red moon. It's blue, it's purple, but you can see there are multiple different options here. Racing orange, ultramarine, lots of really good, cool functions throughout. Miami Rose has a lot of nice, fun red in here, but I really like the red moon. And you can, of course, adjust the brightness. Very cool, very customizable, very nice, just overall presence here at in the Mercedes C300 at nighttime. And you can see from this visualization here, you even get it down in the rear footwells. Mercedes really has thought of everything with this one. I want to talk about the augmented reality on the turn-by-turn navigations, because there really is no reason for you to get lost in this vehicle. We are approaching midday, so I need a little midday pick-me-up, and I'm going to get directions to Dunkin' Donuts here in Tyler, a couple miles away. You can see it shows me my estimated arrival time, about how far it is. I can choose different routes, but I'm going to go ahead and go. Before I hit that go button, it actually pulled up the Yelp reviews of that particular location. All that just extra Mercedes-Benz thoughtfulness going into this 2022 C300. Now, I also have the visualization in my heads-up display up in front of me, so I really do have directions all the way around. I can even swap over here to the navigation screen. Whoops, helps if I actually click on it. Swap over here to the navigation screen, and then I get my navigation up here as well. But now you can see my augmented reality telling me to turn here on Troop Highway using the camera mounted up here so that I can actually see where I'm going. Really like this feature. You can mute the voice here. You can turn off the augmented reality right here if you don't want it. But why wouldn't you want this, especially if you're navigating an unfamiliar territory? Really gives you an awesome look into where you need to go and how you can expect to get there. And then the camera goes away when you no longer need it, so it only pops up as you're approaching a intersection or a change in your current trajectory. So here I am just driving straight down the road. I've got a little bit before my next turn, so it gives me my top-down map view, which you can opt to go 2D or 3D with this map, but here I'm approaching another change, another turn, so the camera comes on, lets me know I need to keep going straight. I'm gonna go ahead and get over because I do know my turn is coming up here very quickly, and you can just watch this blue line, tells me to get in the turn lane here, and you can see up here comes my turn as we get close to the loop here. Just awesome tech here in the Mercedes C300. This really is a very comfortable, very well put together car. I really love the interior of this. The packaging is really nice. I like this hidden compartment for your cup holders, which are removable, and your wireless charger that is up underneath here. So you can truly tuck your phone away with the wireless Apple CarPlay and completely forget about it. I just love when there is wireless CarPlay and a wireless charger. It just makes everything so much better and work so much more cohesively in this vehicle. Everything is right where I need it, where I want to see it, where I can reach it very easily. This is a very well thought out vehicle, and the baby S-Class dynamics of it translate very well here. It is a great place to spend time. I am not sad to have this vehicle for a week whatsoever. Unfortunately, I think my wife has become quite the fan of Mercedes products, and I've barely gotten seat time in this vehicle. In fact, she overrode my seat memory #1 position because she claimed this vehicle for the week. If you want to know her thoughts, go and follow her over at Female Consumer on Instagram, and be sure and subscribe so you can see her driving impressions and our family thoughts when our family review drops later this week. But here now I am on some East Texas back roads that are windy and twisty and quite a bit of fun in their own right, where I can actually put this in the different drive modes. I'm actually going to go into Sport Plus, which changes the throttle response, the suspension, and the augmented exhaust sound. So if you remember from that E-Class that we had earlier on the channel, it actually had a dual mode exhaust. This has an interior augmented exhaust sound that I'm gonna let you hear right now. So it's all right. I mean, you've got a 2-liter turbocharged 4 under the hood. It's about what you would expect when you're pumping in some fake exhaust sound. This does have 255 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque, and does have that EQ boost to give you just a little extra jolt down low before that turbo spools up. And this is a good powertrain. There is just a little bit of lag when you are already on a roll and you floor it. Case in point, there it goes. So while it may be quick off the line, there is a little bit of lag, and that could be due to the Mercedes designed 9-speed transmission being in full automatic mode here. I'm sure I could drop it down and get going just a little bit faster. This is very fun on twisty roads, and I have been enjoying its driving dynamics and behavior quite well. Its tight proportions mean it's really just right for zipping through traffic and exploring your favorite back roads like I'm doing today. It is a fun car all the way around, and this is based on a rear-wheel drive architecture. So even though this has the 4MATIC 4-wheel drive, a majority of that power can be sent back to the back for more fun, and you definitely feel that rear drive dynamic deep down in the bones of this vehicle. The steering is really good and without play or wobble, but ironically there is a lot of play in the brake pedal. It is not crisp and sharp right when you bite on it. There's actually a lot of dead travel on it. As you can see, I'm pushing it right now and nothing's happening. Slight problem when you're wanting to go through some spirited driving. When we first got this vehicle, I thought it was just because it was in comfort mode, but I am in Sport Plus, and still not a lot of instant bite when you press down on that pedal. A little disappointing in what is supposed to be a sports sedan. But throw it into a corner and the suspension really holds you in place. This seat is very comfortable and helps keep you cornering quite well around whatever corner may be ahead of you. And this steering wheel is nice, thick rimmed, and very good to hold on to, and allows you to really pilot this thing in the right direction. It is a good performance car, brakes notwithstanding. All right, so 255 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. Mercedes claims 0 to 60 in just under 6 seconds. We shall see. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So that EQ boost really helps set you off the line, but this really is a little Turbo 4, so it's got its work cut out for it in a vehicle that is almost 4,000 pounds. It is not a rocket ship, but it is a really fun performance sedan nonetheless, which it only has essentially the base engine in it right now. I would expect some higher performance variants to come out very soon, but here for 2020, you get that 2-liter turbo that is rather good for spirited driving. So, final thoughts here on the 22 Mercedes C300 4MATIC. I really appreciate the baby S-Class styling inside and out. I really like most of the driving behavior of this vehicle. I just wish that brake pedal were a little more responsive and the engine sounded just a little bit better. Otherwise, this really is a perfect entry-level sports sedan for anyone in the market for a quality vehicle. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button down below and ring the bell so you don't miss a future video from us. See what we're driving before it is here on YouTube by finding us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, all at GT Garage Talk. And until next time, gearheads, bye. How long are you going to be doing that? It's probably going to be a while. When it comes to fake or functional, there is a lot of solid plastic jet. Can I find it on one try? Nope. 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 Where is it?